Hello crafters, I'm Dan B and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'm going to show you how I made this Christmas card. I shared it on my blog the other day and one of my followers tried making it and she wasn't happy with the result and she said could I do a video to show how it's done. So yeah, of course. So I've done that one, which was using the paper from Festive Farmhouse. I've subsequently done this one, which is from All Is Bright. I'm quite pleased with that. That would make quite a nice wedding card as well, obviously with different sentiment. And the one I'm going to do today is using, what am I using today? Let me have a look. It is Joyous Noel. So to start off with, I'm going to show you the card pieces that you're going to be needing. Right. My main colour is going to be Tranquil Tide. And you are going to be needing a card base which measures 8 1/4 inches by 5 3/4 inches, which is 21 by 14.5 centimetres. And then a piece of Whisper White, which measures 4 inches by 5 5/8 inches, which is 10.25 by 14.25 centimetres. A piece of Tranquil Tide, which measures 10 by 14 centimetres. A piece of Whisper White, which measures 10 by 14 centimetres, which measures 3 7/8 inches by 5 1/2 inches, which is 10 by 14 centimetres. So that one's the same size as that one there. And then you need another piece of Tranquil Tide, which measures 3 3/4 inches by 5 3/8 inches, which is 9.7 by 13.7 centimetres. And then these two pieces are approximate, and they are approximately 3 inches by 5 inches, which is 7.5 by 12.5 centimetres, and those two are for the sentiment. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the die cutting, and to do the die cutting I used the Sizzix Multipurpose adhesive sheets, and it worked absolutely brilliantly. So I want to show you how I do it. So this is a complete sheet and you get 12 of these sheets in the packet. I was going to do one of these ahead of time, but I thought that I wouldn't because I really wanted to show you how I do this. So with a Sizzix sheet, what you need to do is lift the covering, and believe you me, this is sticky. Okay, so you take your first piece. This is the Tranquil Tide that measures 3 inches by 5 inches, or 7.5 by 12.5 centimetres. And what you need to do is just butt this end up against the edge of that white strip there. And once you're happy it's in place, just let it all go down. And pull that back a bit and do the same with this one. That overlapped a little bit, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. Right, now close that down. And honestly, this stuff really is very, very sticky. I have to clean my non-stick scissors after I've finished using this. That's how strong this stuff is. But it makes life so much easier. Right, first of all I'm going to cut this off. I'm just going to fold it so that I can see properly. I don't want to finish up cutting my cardstock underneath. So that can go away in there. Now that, oh right, okay, we've got this piece here. These are absolutely ideal for tiny little things that you have. Like if you're doing lots of little stars or something, once you see how easy it is to use this adhesive sheet, I'm sure you'll want to use it again. Okay, so now that is rubbish. Whoops. So what I'm going to do first is, you don't need to worry about cutting that piece off because that's not sticky. But these sticky bits here, you do want to cut off. And the reason for that is when you're cranking this through your big shot, you don't want that sticky getting on your roller, or on your plate, rather. Once it's got hold of you, it doesn't like to let you go, I tell you. Right, that bit's so tiny. Sometimes you'll find that you can just roll the glue off. Right, okay, now I'm just going to separate these two. Okay, so that one's going to be perfectly okay, but that one won't. So we'll cut that off as well. There we go, that's fine. Now I'm going to do the glimmer paper. Did I say glimmer paper on here? No, I didn't, did I? That's the same as that, the 3 inches by 5 inches, which is 7.5 by 12.5 centimetres. And that's Dazzling Diamonds glimmer paper, which we've now stopped, but we are doing sparkle instead, which I understand is very, very similar to this. I've still got quite a lot of this left, so I'll finish this off first. And doing the die cuts, what I have also found is, particularly this one, it works better with wax paper. Also, I was finding that because I had done so many, or at least I assume it's because I was doing so many, my dies were actually getting sticky and it was more difficult to get the die cut out of them. So I decided I'm going to use that to see whether that will protect these. So far, so good. So the dies are from the Merry Christmas Thinlits, and you get Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. So I'll just bring my big shot over. Now for this you need to use the platform, the regular platform, the thin die adapter and the precision base plate. Okay, so platform, thin die adapter, precision base plate, and then I'm going to have one cutting mat. Right, so I'm going to do this one first. You will be told by some people that you should face the glitter down because it makes it easier to cut, but if you're using this sandwich it will cut brilliantly. I also found out the other day that when you're doing die cutting, it's better if you put your dies at an angle when you start rather than having them straight. Never heard that one before. Whether it's a fact or not, I don't know. But I do try and do, hopefully, the things that are going to give me the best results. So that's through once. and that's through twice. Now, without moving it too much, I'm just going to change its position, and that is that way, and I'm going to do it backwards and forwards again, and that will be it. Right, while I separate those, I'm just going to move this out of the way a bit, and I'll have my paper piercer. Now that looks as if it has cut brilliantly. And first of all, let's get rid of that one. Don't need that. No, that's not going to go anywhere. Right, okay, let's concentrate on this. Okay, so I'm just pushing through my actual die cut, and I'm lifting up the what's going to be the scrap. I did have one of these where, as I lifted it up, it actually pulled the backing off, so the sticky part was exposed, which made life a little bit difficult, to say the least. In fact, it was on that one there, which had the one that I said would be ideal for a wedding. In fact, this one's trying to come up as well. Maybe I should have run it through 6 times. Okay, so that's my advice to you. Run it through 6 times, not 4, like me. Yep, that's coming off. In fact, I'm going to let that come off. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I deal with that. Nothing special really, it's just, oh, that one's come off as well. Okay, let's get rid of the bits that we don't need. Bearing in mind that the sticky bit is now exposed, and therefore when you push these bits out, they're just going to curl round and stick on. Oh, that one pinged out nicely. Oh, so did that. Right, now I can't leave these in here obviously because I've got to do the Tranquil Tide one as well. So I'm just going to poke a few bits out. Just very carefully, be patient with this. Really well worth it. When you see how easy it is to glue these down. Well, not glue them down, but fix them down. Okay, so that's Merry. Now I've just got to remember not to do anything to touch it or anything. Okay, so that's that bit gone. Now let's do Christmas. Now first of all, I'm going to get rid of the bits that need to be pushed out. Oh no, I've lost the... Oh, one bit you don't want to lose. Ah, it's still in here, that's good. That's the dot for the eye. Okay, don't mind leaving the backing on, but let's just at least get the wax paper off. That's it. I'll put that there, make sure I don't lose it. Right, now let's push this one out. Any bits in there to come out? Just from the A, that's out. Okay, oh, T's coming out. It's coming out on its own. Not particularly helpful when it starts coming out in the centre. But we can cope. In fact, this is coming out easier than the Merry did. If this happens to you, do be careful as you're pulling, because this is getting stuck to my fingers, and if I move too quickly I'm sure that I would tear it or break it. That's it. So I'm just laying that one down, face up. Now the other thing that I do with this, before I move on to the second one, is there's quite a chunk here that's not been used, so I cut that off and I save them just very loosely, because if I wanted anything small, I've got this already glued onto a self-adhesive sheet on there, and I keep a little wallet here so that everything in here I know has got backing paper to it. Okay, it does somewhat rather rely on me remembering the colours, but I'm okay with that. Okay, so that, whoops, so that can go back in there. So otherwise this is going to be rubbish. And the next one will be much easier. But again, I'm still going to be using the wax paper because I do think it's partly the dye getting sticky. I could be wrong. Right, okay, don't want you to be at an angle. I mean, we do want you to be at an angle. Oh, I can see a piece still in there. Oh, and a bit on the back. There we go. Good, okay. Right, so that's good to go. As I'm saying to you, the glimmer paper should be put through 6 times. I'm going to say this should be put through 4 times. I don't know what the paper backing is on the self-adhesive, the multi-purpose adhesive sheet, but I imagine that's what's giving me a hard time here. Oh, that looks lovely. Right, so let's move this out of the way. That's all I need the big shot for. Right, let's get straightened up here. When I was telling you the card pieces that you needed, I forgot to tell you about the designer series paper. I'll explain that in a jiffy, but I didn't even tell you that you needed some. There we go, see, that's how it should come out. Now, I've obviously put this in differently because that's not quite such a big chunk there. But I'll think about that later. Right, so this is really and truly how it should come out. So take out the bits we don't want. That's it. Again, pull it very gently. Okay, let's go down to the other end then. So that's that one. That's all rubbish. Now Christmas. We push out the bits that we don't need. And then I'm going to go for the dot above the eye, which is that one. I'm going to put that right with the other one. There we go. Left a little piece in there. It's at the bottom of the S. There we go. Okay, so that's the Christmas. Bit more there, I'll take that out later. Right, okay. Now we want the top sheet of this, which is the sheet that measures 3 3/4 inches by 5 3/8 inches, which is 9.7 by 13.7. Now what you need to do is you need to decide which designer series paper you want to use. On mine I am using, oh that's right, these 3 designs, okay. I stick to 3 colours because it's easy just to line up, decide which colours are going where, but you could do multicolours, you could do 4 colours, 5 colours, whatever. With the 3 colours it saves any problems about deciding which colours are going which. And what I have found is best is if you take a piece of designer series paper, it's not going to work quite with this, that's 3 inches by 3 inches. It's like this one here. So what I did was, I must have started this end. Oh no, here. I punched this one out first, and then I turned my DSP round and I cut that one out. Then I turned it around and I cut that one out, and I carried on all the way down like that. That way it ensured that I didn't come too far in, too far down, and I got the maximum out of there. And the other thing that you can do, because you finish up with gaps here, and you will see on the cards, can only see this one, oh here we go, you'll see there are little pieces that you need gap fillers, if you like. So what I do is, with little pieces like that, in that direction, I take my punch and I just take as much as I can and punch that out. Okay, this is for the last one. Oh yeah, it was for that weddingy one that I did. Okay, so you really are not wasting any of your cardstock at all. But let's do this one. I had quite a lot left over, so I'm saving them so I can do another card. Okay, so they'll be useful. So that's how to get the most out of your cardstock, your DSP. And I always keep some spares with me in case I haven't punched out enough at the beginning. So the ones that I've already done, that design, these are all bits. So they're my fillers. Those are my complete ones. These are also my complete ones. That's a design on its own, that's that one. And these ones are complete, that's the other side of that one. And I have a few offcuts. I've also got these 2, which look as if they're the same size, but they're not. I went too close to the edge. If I line those up sorry, if I line those up together, you can see that that's wrong there and that's wrong there. And the only thing is, if you're working with things like this on your desk, do make sure you keep them separate from the complete ones. Okay, so that's the offcuts, that's the complete ones. Let's put offcuts over that side. And we get the complete ones here. Are they all in screen? I think so. Right, now with this sheet, what we're going to do is we are going to use our silicone mat, and we're going to put our piece on here, because you can see your grid sheet through here, so line up the top of this with any line that's easily visible to you, or line it up on the base of your silicone mat. I think I am going to put this, make sure that's straight. Now if I put myself there, can you see me? Yep, that's good. Okay, so you decide which colour you want as the main thing down here. Now when I looked at this, after it was finished, I could see that that looked like one complete band, this colour, and it looks as if everything else has been put on top. Likewise with the red one, that looks as if it's a complete band. I think once you've seen it, you always see it. That if you don't see it immediately, then you have to think, what is she talking about? But that does look like one complete band that's going underneath these. So whatever design you're going to have here is going to be that one. So I am going to choose to have that one, as I think I would go for this one, which is what I'm calling the solid pattern. There is a solid one there, but because that's quite patterned, I was going to say I want to put that on the outside. I haven't done a patterned one on the inside yet, have I? That one didn't have any specific real pattern, but that one did. It was that gold baubles. So what I'm going to do now is the patterned ones I'm going to put on my centre. So I'm choosing this design. And what you need to do is work out how you're going to line this up. Now I am lining up my silicone mat. Can you see the bottom here? Just about. Okay, so I'm lining this up. 8 is that dark line that goes up through the centre. So I've got 3 inches that side, 3 inches that side. So I know whichever line I line my Tranquil tide up on, as long as that point goes through that darker line, the 8 inches, then I know that I'm good to go. So what I'm going to do, rather than getting a ruler out, I'm going to be lazy, and I am going to line up where that goes around the corner there, and where that goes around the corner. I'm going to line that up with the edge here. So what I'm going to do is, with Tombow, and I do think Tombow is probably best with this, it doesn't matter which way round this is. So I'm just lining, gluing across that line, down and then up. On this it doesn't matter if it comes over a bit, because we will be trimming this up. So I need my tweezers. Okay, so just make sure I haven't moved. Make sure this is in the centre. Which is about there. Make sure it's straight. Yep. This is the most crucial piece that you're laying down now. There we go. Now I don't cut them off until the end unless I think that's going to work as a good filler for me. Now the next piece you need is to go sideways, and what I want is to leave a, let's do this one first so you can see what I'm talking about. I want to leave a little gap between all of them. So I need to put glue just above that where it goes around the corner, and 1/4 inch up there. So about 1/4 inch up there. and just where that comes round the corner, for this design it doesn't matter whether it goes this side or that side, because there's only going to be 3 across here. Okay, so a little gap there, and make sure you line up with this here. And I'll tell you what else would make life easier. Now, I don't know why I didn't think about this, but if you have a T-square, because then you can make sure that the base point, let me just get myself comfy again, pull my chair in. Right, so I need to move that over because that's going to be in the way. Except I can't see because it's too high up. Come down a bit. Right, line that up down there. Right. Yep, that looks good. So the next one I need is this. So I need to do about the same as before, but it's this bit down here. Up to where it goes around the corner. About 1/4 of an inch round the corner on this one. And I did that upside down, didn't I? Okay, we'll carry on down to the end there. That's it. And now I'm leaving a little gap, and I'm making sure that that point comes down. That's it. I know you can't see the gap on that one, but I found that with the crumb cake one as well. Now it's just plain sailing. So in here I need a green one, and that's going to be glued all over. Now we're leaving a gap. Again, you can't really see this because of the colour of the Designer Series paper. So the next one, I've got those two, so that's the one I need. You don't have to worry about are the colours and the patterns all looking balanced or not. You've only got 3 colours to choose from, and you just make sure that 2 same colours aren't touching each other. There we go. So we know that this is going to be the strip coming down here. And you can choose which pieces you want. Obviously, if you think, oh, that looks a nice one, I'd rather have that, just in case I'm going to finish up with too many pieces. You might as well choose the best ones. And I recommend that you probably need about 6 or 7 of each. I prefer to cut a few odd shapes so that I'm ready, but equally you can cut these off. I will do one of those so that you can see what I mean. So we need the white one now. In fact, I didn't need to glue all of that, did I? Okay, so under that we're going to have a green one. I did do a video showing how this technique was done back in the summer, and I did a masculine card using the Wood Textures 6x6 inches Designer Series paper stack. But on that one it was really easy, because, well, a lot easier than this, because I just butted all the shapes together. I didn't leave this gap, and I think this gap adds so much to this design. I really do. Right, so now I need one of those, the white one. There's another design that could have been used with this. Oh, something else I wanted to show, and I'm going to show it now because I know sometimes I say that I'm going to show you something and I forget. But on the, I'm going to call this the wedding Christmas card, alright? But when I was doing this one, I wanted to have gold on the top here. But what happened when I did it was it all became very, very crinkled. And that's it. Because it was put through the big shot backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. Can you see how it's not all nice and smooth now? I mean, that's probably come from my plate, which is really very well used, shall we say. But it did spoil the look. So I decided, no, I'm going to stick to the Dazzling Diamonds, or Sparkle as it is now. Right, now that's the main one's done. Now what you can do, if you don't want to cut out the odd shapes beforehand, at this stage you can say, right, what do I need? Right, you need one for in there, which is a bit of that, so why don't we cut that one off? Scissors. So I'm going to cut straight down here. Oh my gosh, these scissors are so sticky now. Can you see the long strands of glue coming away from the cardstock? Okay, so we've got that, that and that we can use. It was that design I wanted, wasn't it? Oh, it's that one. Okay, so only need a little bit in there. So I'm going to put some glue on that. Now I'm getting very sticky as well. Tweezers. There we go. So what do I need in this one? This has got to be, no, that's got to be this one as well, hasn't it? Methinks. So let's, in fact, let's cut all these pieces off, shall we? Always do it from the back. I would like to have a nice straight cut across here, but there's absolutely no way I'm going to put this through my guillotine or my trimmer. Right, there we go. So there are our bits and pieces that we have. So I feel I've done something wrong. So that's got to be that one. Oh, I can see why I'm confused. That's because I made sure I'm in the picture here. Can you see me? Yeah. I'm going to be doing a piece there, and then I'm going to do a tiny piece here. Right, okay. Nothing we can't cope with. So for that, where's my scraps? I thought I said I'd put all the scraps over here, didn't I? Oh, these are scraps, yep. So I have that. And cut some of this off. I put that out of the way because that's not going to be any good to man or beast. That's it. Stay there. Now I need another one here, which is going to be one of these. Now that's not any good, so neither is that. That one's not going to be any good. Right, so this is the brown design. In fact, there's a nice little bit. So let's cut a piece off of there. Glue. There we go, that's that one. So now we do the other side. So this one is the white one. No, it isn't. It's the brown one again. Oh, that's interesting. That looks a bit short. Where's a complete sheet? Oh no, that's okay. How much did I need? Not a lot. There we go. So this must be this one as well. No, that's got sticky on it, that's no good. That hasn't. So that will work. Let's cut that off. So I've got two tiny little pieces to fill in. Okay, otherwise I'm done. Need to trim that. So it's that one and that one. So that's going to be these, but I need the pointy bit up there. No, it's not that one. Where's the other one? Where's the green one? Yep, that one. Oh, that's an offcut. That's good. Make sure that's on my silicone mat. That one, and now that one. It is the white one. That's not. Oh, look at that. Can you see that? Am I still? Yep. Okay, so tiny little piece. This has already got glue on, so it's an offcut. Let at least get it onto here. There we go. So that's all that done. So while I'm just leaving that a little few minutes to dry, I'm going to get rid of these. Now they're all got glue on them, and I'm going to get rid of these ones as well. Oops. And those. Right. So that can go in my little bag of tailored tags ready for another card. I might put them all together and just have one big assortment of colours. So first of all, I'm going to start on the inside of the card. I'll just give that a chance to dry. And all I did on the inside of these two was that one, I put two strips of washi tape. You see the glimmer on that? That's gold, which obviously went really well. This one, I've got the grey, which equates silver. So I've got the red and the silver there. You can see that. And this is all from this set here, which I think was called Sweet Season. But I'll put the name in the box below with all the measurements as well. But for this one, I'm going to use this, which is copper, which is the same copper on there. I thought that goes together really nicely. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop my card, how far? Yep, okay. I'm going to line it up with the line there. There we go, found it. And the easiest thing to do is, as you've got it lined up on that line, or not, is you can put one end down so that I'm going onto the second line here. Okay, I'm lined up on this one. The top of that's going on the second. I'm going to use this hand to pull myself back straight again. That's it, and to line up with that one. There we go, nice and straight. And the second one is a lot easier because it's anchored into place anyway, and I'm just moving this. Where do I want it to go? I'm going to line it up with that line up there. I'll fold that bit over. As you saw, sometimes it gets a bit tricky to find where it is, especially when you've got bumpy lines. Right, so what I need to do on this, as you see, I've got all my sheets ready with my, with my tear and tape. So all I'm going to do is bring that over. I know I could tear it off here, but I just think this gives a much nicer finished look. That will go down once I lift that one up, and this one can come up. Bring that up and over. Bring that up and over. No, can you go straight? There we go. So that's all good. I'm going to pop that on the inside, but I'm going to do it that way. If you're watching this video the day that I actually publish it, which will be the 7th of October 2018, just as a reminder that today is the last day of the World Card Making Day sale that Stampin' Up are running, and there are some everyday basics included in the sale, like tear and tape, dimensionals, note cards and envelopes, the 12x12 Whisper White cardstock in Whisper White and Very Vanilla, and also some stamp sets and kits. So if you need topping up on the basics, do pop on over to my shop and check it out. Well, that looks straight. So now I'm going to put these layers on. Don't forget that I have my own Facebook group for crafters where you can share the products that the projects that you make. It started when I had a lot of people, my YouTube subscribers, who send me photographs of the work they make, sometimes been inspired by the project that they've seen that me do, and sometimes it's totally just something that they've done, and the projects have been so beautiful. I just thought that it was such a shame that it was only me that was getting to see them, which is why I set up the group. So it'd be lovely for you to come on over and join us. And it's called Happy Crafting, of course. So there's that. Now the reason I've done an extra layer on this is because when I've trimmed the edge of this sheet, I didn't want it going straight onto the white sheet. So I've done it tone on tone, if you like, so that it will get the dark green edge all the way round, like I've been getting the little green edge in between all of the shapes. By putting it on another green sheet that's a little bit bigger, it's going to make it stand out. Should have turned that around. Never mind. Right, so I'm going to cut this. I wonder if that's still wet. No, it isn't. I'm just going to clean my scissors. I really don't like cutting with them like this. This is just a general product that I buy. It's called Sticky Stuff Remover, but that's the actual ingredient that's in there. Oops. So as long as you see something that says, because I don't know whether sticky stuff is around the world or not, so but that's absolutely brilliant for cleaning anything like this. It really does stick amazingly. Right, so now I can cut this off. Straight in the bin with you. That's it. Now this shouldn't stick too much because it's only Tombow. Let's go this way. And I've got one piece on the other side that I need to trim off, don't I? That's it. Right, okay. Oops. No. So there we go. Funny, isn't it? That doesn't look like a strip now. Maybe because there's not much down there. But the colours go together well, so that's fine. So I'm going to pop that onto there now. Yep, that'll be good. Don't know why you try and do that with that. It's always a bigger fight. There we go. Now, we got the right way or wrong way? I don't think we have, except I want that one up at the top. Okay, so turn it around to do it. It's just so that you don't have to look at the top of my head. There we go. I think that's a nice colour combo, don't you? I like Tranquil Tide. Whoops. That wasn't meant to happen. That's better. Right, all we need to do now, I think, is to put on the Merry Christmas. And what I do is I position these down where I want them to go. Oh, this is coming off as well. Oh, okay. Right, so I only take part of it off. And I know that I'm going to do this at an angle because this is the third one that I've done. Okay, so push that one down. And once you're happy that's done, pull this bit off. And then just make sure that that goes where you want it to go. And then with this one, start off by peeling the covering off of Christmas. Be careful you don't tear and break your word. Right, so that I'm just trying to make sure that it's going at the same angle. Bring it down a bit lower, not too low. I think that's about right. Okay, right, so you go into position. That's it. Okay, now pull this off bit by bit. This is, oh, alright, all in one go if you like. And then just make sure that this is going parallel to that. And then you want the oh, that's the green one, isn't it? So we have the green one first. That's off. Now this, I have to say, is rather fiddly. But that's just based on the size. Right, so that goes above the eye. There we go, good. And now we want the Merry, which I already lost the backing off. And what I do with this is I line it up. In fact, it's not going to show very well until I come over there. But I line it so that I've got a shadow down here. And all the shadow is on the left-hand side. Okay, so that's okay. Now I'm making sure a shadow there on the left-hand side. I'm going to have to let this go down because I can't do it all. So I'm going to lift that up. And make sure that the shadow is about the same amount. Certainly don't take a ruler to it to make sure that I'm precise about it. But as long as it's close enough to the eye. And that bit. And then I just gradually work my way along, making sure that my shadow is about even. There we go. There we go. And now the same with Christmas. So pop that down. Make sure that you get a bit of shadow on the left hand side. The green is the shadow, so that's on the left. And then just follow it through. One letter at a time. If you have tweezers, they really come into their own for doing this. There we go. And then this one. I don't know whether the backing came off of that or not. Doesn't feel sticky. No, it didn't. There we go. Right, that goes on there. Again, leave a shadow. Now, because I put the patterned, most patterned piece down there, although they're quite patterned, I don't want to put my embellishments on it. You see on this one I added some wooden stars. This one I added some wooden Christmas trees. But I don't think that would take anything. So I'm not going to put anything else on there. I'm leaving it like that. I'll post a photograph of it on my blog tomorrow. And you'll see whether I change my mind about that, but I don't think I will do. That really is quite busy as it is. Don't you think? I mean, that was really quite plain and it was asking for something, and so was that. Anyway, there we go. That's today's project. I hope you like it and I hope you give it a try. It just needs a bit of patience, that's all, but it's worth it. If you have any questions, please leave them in the box below. I'm always happy to help you. If you'd like to purchase any of the products that I featured here today, there'll be a link to my 24/7 online Stampin' Up shop in the box below. And if you do and your order is less than £150, please remember to use the Hostess code for October, which is NBFVEQYE, and that way you'll get a free product at the end of, no, just after the end of October. And if you've enjoyed my video and you'd like to be notified of each time I oh my goodness, I'm tired. Let's start again. If you've enjoyed my video and you'd like to be notified each time I upload a new one, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button. And I also believe that there's a bell in there that you have to click for notifications too. Anyway, in the meantime, and don't forget about my Facebook group called Happy Crafting. I'd love to see you over there. Many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting. Cheerio.